Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tyler, and today we're going to be bringing you a video entitled INTPs and Dating, Making Yourself a Catch First. So this is kind of a big topic for INTPs. It can be hard for us to connect with people, ask people to go on dates. So I think this is an important topic. This is something that I've had to go into recently. Me and my wife just recently got a divorce. So I'm going to explain a little bit why it's so hard for INTPs to get into the dating scene, our cognitive function stack, and why that really doesn't serve us when it comes to this topic. And then at the end of the video, I will give you some tips to get yourself ready to get out into the dating world, because this is really what you need to take care of first if you want to be successful at this. So let's get into it. Okay, so like I mentioned, dating is not easy for INTPs, especially compared to other MBTI types. This can be a real struggle for us, and I'll get into why here. So our FE inferior and our SE trickster can make finding a partner hard for the INTP. So the FE inferior, we're very aware of this. This is our insecurity. We can find social situations very daunting. We're not able to go into a bar by ourselves and just kind of look around for people. One, just because we're pretty awkward when it comes to social situations, and we know that we are awkward, so this can make it very difficult for us to get ourselves out there. And then as far as the SE trickster, SE, especially when it comes to women, is what they look for most. These SE dominant types are the people that's in your face, the people that's fighting, and women really find that attractive because they feel like this SE dominant can really protect them and really protect their family if it would ever get to that point. Because of these things, INTPs in general have less sexual partners compared to the general population, and it's actually possibly the lowest out of all the MBTI types. Now, that's not to say that we don't get married very much. INTPs are actually among the highest when it comes to introverts and getting married. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we are successful. Usually what will happen in these situations is that we find a person and we really hold on to that person. Even if we don't really like them that much, we're going to understand that making friends, finding dating partners is hard for us. So once we find this one person, we really try our best to hold on to them and then eventually marry them. And in some extreme cases, INTPs may not even pursue dating because they are more interested in their own projects. Maybe they have tried before in the dating world and it did not go well, so they feel like they are just unsuccessful, and what they want to do is focus more on their life, more on their projects, which honestly is a good thing. But let's be honest with ourselves. We need people. Just because we are one of the most introverted types does not mean that we don't need people. We don't need that intimacy that everybody else craves. Just like everybody else, we want this, and we should really go for it if we so desire. Okay, now I'm going to go over the INTP cognitive function stack, also with little comments about dating, if it's helpful, if it's not. These are just kind of my own thoughts. There's really no data backing this up. First off here, TI hero. Now this is not normally looked for in dating, except for high TE users. The very sad thing about INTPs, one, we're not very good at dating. And two, the most compatible people with us are the ENTJs and also the INTJs. And these two are among the most rare types out there, especially ENTJ and INTJ women. They just don't make up a very big part of the population. Now, that's not to say that people don't like smart people, but when it comes to first making that good impression, getting that person interested in you, the TI really is not going to serve a purpose when it comes to this. NE parent, this can actually be a very attractive quality if we use it correctly. The ENFP, which has NE dominant, is many times considered the most attractive person. If we can get to a point where we're in a conversation with a possible dating partner, We can throw out all these ideas. We can come off as fun because we give out all of these crazy ideas, all these situations that could come true. So I do think this is an attractive cognitive function for us, but we just have to use it in a correct manner. SI child, this is another detriment to our dating life. Our love for comfort can make it hard to put yourself out there. If you give the INTP a decision to make, stay in and watch Netflix or play video games, or go out and try to get yourself out there, many times you're going to choose the comfort just because of this SI child. FE and fear, we already talked about this. This is a big detriment to dating because it can make it hard to connect with people, to start interesting conversations. And this is also our insecurity, so we are very aware that we are not good in social situations. So this can keep us from going up to the man or the woman that we really want, because we feel like if we do that, we're just going to have an awkward conversation, and it's really going to make us think twice before going up to that person. But that eventually is just something you're going to have to get over. TE nemesis, I'll be honest, I don't know too much about TE, but it's about externalizing the world, externalizing your plans. So we can have this plan in our mind about how to go about getting a dating partner, how to get into a situation where we can find someone like that. But once we actually get there, we're going to have a hard time seeing it through. This could possibly also make it hard for us to recognize signs that another person is interested in us. The INTP is notorious for having no idea that the person that really likes them likes them. The only way you're going to really make an INTP realize that you like them is to just straight up tell them. And not very many people do that. Many people will give off signals and pretty much expect you to make the move, and we are not good at doing this. Another detriment, you can see why INTPs have so much trouble with dating. NI critic. So if we find somebody that we really want, that we really desire, we're going to criticize ourselves for that. We're going to criticize our true wants and desires. So we're really going to be cautious about trying to go for the thing we want. We're going to try to settle for the person that we think we deserve. And I made a separate video about NI critic if you want to check that out. It has a lot of good information in it. You have to get over this. You have to get over the NI critic because you do deserve what you want and you should really try to go for it. SE trickster, again, we already talked about this. This is generally the most desired trait for women. They want to see that action. They want to see that you're ready to fight. Maybe not so much for men, but for women, this is really going to be what they look for. And that is one of the reasons why SE dominants have the most sexual partners, especially ESTPs. They're going to have the biggest little black book. They're going to be able to walk into a bar and have a one-night stand, and they're going to do this easily, and they're really going to have no problem doing this because of this SE dominant. FI demon, I don't really study the demon function too much. I know how you can get to the FI demon, but I really have no comment on this when it comes to dating. Okay, now we'll get into ways that you can improve yourself. If you're ready to start dating, if you want to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you really have to start with yourself first. You can't just go out expecting to easily get a date. You have to make yourself more presentable. And I'll go over ways on this slide here, and then on the next slide, I'll cover some specific examples on how to do that. So let's get into it. It can be a tough thing for INTPs to give off a good experience because of our SE trickster. SE is the worst developed function for the INTP, and I made a separate video on this, how to improve your SE trickster, but you just have to work on this. You have to work on putting off a better experience for the world. You need to make yourself more attractive, and this is a way you can do that. So because of our SE trickster, we have no desire to give a good experience. And this is kind of hypocritical for us because of our SI child. We love to take in the good experience. We love to see the beautiful woman, the beautiful man that took the time to get themselves ready, to see that they have the nice clothes on, and we really like to see this ourselves. But we take no time to get ourselves ready. We take no time to dress up well, to fix our hair, to make sure that we are shaven, or to have our beard fixed up if you're a man and have a beard. So this is something, as an INTP, you have to use your TI hero and your NE parent to realize this and to think of ways to make this better. And the thing is, guys, it's not that hard to figure out why giving off a good experience is desirable. Mating is all about evolution. Deep down, the thing that people want the most is to pass on their genes through their children. And they want to pass down their genes with the best possible partner. When a man or a woman looks at you, basically what they're looking at is, does this person have good genes? Is this a person that I want to have a child with, so that I can have successful children, so they can grow up and have children of their own, and those children will have good genes, and so on and so forth. So if you're out there saying, well, the person's going to like me or not, it doesn't matter if I dress up. If they don't really like me and how I look, how I normally dress, then they really don't even like me. Why should I even try to consider them? This is the reason why, guys, because as soon as a person looks at you, they're going to say, this person either does or does not have good genetics. I wanted to investigate that person further. I want to see if there is a possible romantic relationship that I can begin with them. And honestly, just think about it, guys. Big breasts and butts. Why do men like these? These humps that a woman has on her chest. Why do we find this sexually desirable? Is that not just weird? But the reason why is because we see big breasts and butts are good signs of higher reproductive chances in women. The big breasts are going to be able to breastfeed the child well. The big butts are a sign that she has the room in her body to produce a child. I mean, when you really stop and think about it, it's kind of weird. It's weird that we find these things attractive, but it's not, because it's all about genetics and it's all about having the best mate for reproduction. When it comes to women, any flaw that a man may have can be seen as an undesirable trait to pass on to their children. This is why the women may not necessarily like a short man, because they want to pass on genes that may make the person taller. If the person has a big nose or is just ugly, they're not going to want to pass that down to their children. They might say, yes, you're a nice guy, but I don't necessarily want to have your traits in my children. That's all it is. Women in general seek the masculine frame, the broad shoulders, the strong arms, the strong legs. One, because they're going to see that as a person that can protect me, protect my children, and also it's just good genes. And it's honestly not all about this, especially with women. Having a good personality does go a long way in getting a sexual partner, but when it comes to that initial attraction, these are the things they're looking for. And that's just how it is. It's evolution. And again, I just want to drive home the point that this is just a science, guys. This is something that we understand. It is not necessarily an art form. So if you're scoffing at this whole slide saying, well, they should just like me how I am, they should just see me for who I am and my personality, and they should just like me, that's not how it works. You have to at least give off the impression that you have these desirable genes to get that initial attraction and to get on to the talking part and charming them. And on my next slide here, I'll go over ways that you can improve your frame, can improve yourself so you can have more success in this area. Alright, that brings me to my final topic of the day, ways to improve yourself for the dating world. So this is going to be things that you need to do to get yourself ready, to get yourself out there. This is not going to include any of the techniques to pick up women. That's going to be a topic for another video. This is just things you need to start today to get past the point of initial attraction and then get to the talking point, and we'll go over that in later videos. And guys, the most important thing here, exercise. Now, I know your SI child is already thinking, well, I don't have time, I work too much, I have the kids, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You need to find a way to exercise. Just think about it yourself. If you see a person that is physically fit, physically in shape, compared to someone who's maybe obese or not physically in shape, which person are you going to prefer to mate with or to have a dating situation with. Most times you're going to want that physically better person because of all the things we've talked about. A physically attractive person is going to display better genes than someone who is overweight or not in good physical shape. And like I said, you're going to think of all the reasons why you cannot exercise. Well, I don't have a gym membership, especially right now with the COVID-19 crisis. I can't go to the gym. All you gotta do is look up YouTube videos, 5-minute workout from home videos. Get yourself an exercise bike, get yourself a Peloton if you can afford it. This is really the foundation that started me on my path to a better life. The way I started myself was I started every morning doing 10 push-ups and 5 squat punches. And that's where you squat down, rise up, punch. Squat down, rise up, punch with your other arm. This does not have to take forever. You can do this in 5-10 minutes. And then I was lucky enough to get an exercise bike so I could do this from home. INTPs, if you're going to have a gym membership, this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get ready to go to the gym, to drive there, to work out, drive home. Now you can do it, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be much easier if you can find a way to do this at home. And guys, it's not only about the physical benefits. That's the point of this video, how to make yourself more attractive to get out there in the dating world. But it provides so many mental benefits as well. Just Google the mental benefits of exercise and there's just going to be lists and lists of ways it's going to improve you. You have to get out of that SI comfort. You have to convince your TI that exercise is something you need in your life, and then your NE parent is going to find ways that you can do that. Exercise is going to be a big topic in my future videos just because it has so much benefit. I have become such a different person from the beginning of when I started to exercise to now. I feel so much more confident in myself. I look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm somebody that's worth looking at. And I'm telling you guys, it's worth that 5, 10, even sometimes 20 minutes of working out, that pain, that anguish, to have hours, days of just having a better physical body, of having better mental abilities. I'm telling you, if you do anything out of this video, anything at all, it's exercise. Start small. Start off doing 10 push-ups like I did. And just go from there. And there's going to be days where you can't do this. There's going to be days where your SI comfort wins and you're not going to be able to exercise and you're just going to want to sit in your chair all day, and that's fine, but you have to start somewhere. And once you start exercising, you need to do it enough to make it a habit. I just cannot stress enough how much benefit the exercise will bring to you physically, mentally, and just overall giving you a better life. So please, please, please start exercising. Another thing, make a point to dress better. We talked about because of our SE trickster, we do not even consider giving off a good experience. Before I started to change myself, I would just take a shower and however my hair looked, that's just the way it was. I did not care how I looked, anything. But now I dress myself up, I fix my hair. I have a balm that I use for my beard to shape it, to make it smell better. Just because in your mind you think this may not be important does not mean it is not. Especially if you want to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. These are the things you're going to have to start doing. And I'm not saying that you have to do this. Maybe you get lucky and just the way you look attracts somebody, but this is going to make it a lot easier. And then the thing is, once you start dressing up and you start looking in the mirror and seeing how good you look, it's going to become a habit. It's going to give yourself more confidence to go out into the world and think you are something to look at. And again, this is not a long, drawn-out process. Now, maybe if you're an INTP woman, this may be a little bit more difficult because women are expected to use makeup, fix their hair, all that. So for women, this may take half hour, this may take an hour. But just trust me, it's going to be worth it. For men, this is going to take 5-10 minutes at most. As far as your clothes, press your clothes if it's real wrinkly. Buy the clothes that are better fitting or the name brand clothes that everybody likes. I know you're going to loathe this. I know you do not want to do this. But if you want to improve yourself when it comes to the dating world, this is just something you're going to have to do. And I hope you take that small amount of time to do it. Become more confident. This is what my very first video was about. If you are an INTP, you should already be confident in your abilities. But confidence, and this is in both men and women, will just be a magnet for people to want to get into a romantic relationship with you. People want to be with a confident person. If you are confident in yourself, it's going to be much easier for people to be confident in you. And I realize this is something that does not happen overnight, but with your gift of TI Hero and E Parent, you can find ways out to do this. And the things I've already talked about, exercising, dressing better, this is just going to automatically make you more confident. And this in turn is going to make you more attractive and spark that initial attraction between you and a possible dating partner. And my last point here, guys, I already kind of mentioned this. Pursue your true purpose, so dating is secondary. Who do you think a woman would be more attracted to? A person that has no job, that's living in their parents' basement, that has nothing going for them, no projects, they sit at home playing video games all day, have nothing going for them? Or would they rather have a person that has a great job, has their own place, has their own car, has other projects such as YouTube videos or teaches a class online, something along those lines? You really need to think about what your true purpose is, and you need to start pursuing it. And then when you become engulfed in your project, dating is going to become secondary. People do not want the person that is sitting there on their phone waiting for them to get texted. If that person thinks that they are the main thing in your life, that's going to be unattractive. So I would just say find your true purpose, start working on it, and this just in itself is going to make you more attractive and help you out when it comes to dating. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think about this video and this possible INTP dating series. I do not want to waste my time, so if this is something that you don't really care about, if you enjoyed my other videos much more than this one, please let me know. I do have many techniques, many dating tips that I can give you that I have studied myself, that I have actually had some success with. So if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know, because I do have many ideas, or let me know if this was just a big waste of time and you would like to see other topics, other things. Also, if you enjoyed this video and the content, please give me a like and please subscribe for more videos such as this. And thank you guys again for watching, and have a nice day.